Objective. By the end of this lesson, I will be able to calculate the volume of a sphere. Essential question: how can I derive the formula of the volume of a sphere from the volume of a cylinder? So the first step is just writing down your formula. So the formula is volume equals to 4 over 3, or 4/3, times pi times the radius cubed, meaning raised to the third power. Very simple enough. Or you can think about it as 4 pi r cubed all divided by 3. Either way works. They're equivalent forms. The next step is identify the radius. So we knew that the diameter, which is the long line, was 12. And the radius is half the length of the diameter. So in this case, the radius is just 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Next step, substitute the values in the formula and then simplify your expression. So we knew volume equals to 4 over 3 times pi r cubed. Again, it's only for sphere. So now I'm going to plug in the radius, and we found out from the previous step that the radius was 6. So look what I'm going to do. 4 over 3. I'm going to keep it in terms of pi for this problem. I'm going to substitute 6 in and raise it to the third power. Now I'm going to place this value right here in the calculator. This just means 6 times 6 times 6, which is going to be 216. I'm going to bring it to the front to keep it with the fraction. 216 times 4 over 3 times pi. How do you multiply fractions? You can do it straight across. 216 times 4 is going to be 864. And then you divide that by 3. Again, we're just simplifying it. It's going to be 864 divided by 3, which is going to be 288. I'm running out of room. So your final answer is going to be 288 pi. And our units were centimeters cubed. And you are done. How we put it in the decimal approximation? Instead of putting pi down, all you got to do is place down 3.14 and multiply 288 times 3.14. So let's look at example number 2, or letter B. Same steps as before. It says find the volume of the sphere below, but if you notice that this is not even a whole sphere, or they call it really a hemisphere because it's half of it. So that's very important. So we're going to write down the same formula we used before. Volume equals to pi. Oops, I got the 4 divided by 3. Don't forget that part. 4 divided by 3 pi times r raised to the third power. Check. Next up, identify the radius. And lucky for us, it was already given to us because it was half of the line already. No dividing necessary. The radius is 5. Well, 5 inches. What's the next step? Substitute the values in the formula and then simplify it. So we know that the radius was 5 inches. We know that the formula is volume equals to 4 pi r raised to the third power, all divided by 3. So let's substitute these values in and see what we get. 4, again, I'm going to keep it in terms of pi this time again. Pi times, let's see, the radius is 5. I'm going to plug that in, all raised to the third power, and then divide it by 3. So I'm going to work with the numerator and just move the numbers over. 5 to the third power is just 5 times 5 times 5. You can even expand it out if you want to. Times 4, all times pi, divided by 3. So now let's work with the numerator. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Times 4, divided by 3 pi. 125 times 4, place on the calculator, is going to be, is going to be 500, all divided by 3. And that's just 166.7. It actually is repeating 666. We're going to round to the nearest tenth times 7 pi. But again, this formula works for a whole sphere. This is only half of it, a hemisphere. So not only you have to do something extra. So since it's only half of the sphere, you have to actually take half of the volume, because it holds half as much as a whole sphere. So now our answer needs to be divided by 2. And then we'll have the value of that hemisphere. So the volume is 166 divided by 7, which is going to give us another repeating decimal, 83.3 pi, let's make it look like 8, inches cubed. And that is your final answer. So I would like for you to work with the people on your table and try to do the you do, and then we're going to present it.